Welcome guys, another video on my channel. Today I want to talk about some of the parts on the cars that wear out the most, so I can point out a few things that you have to look out for, and then you can change them a bit more frequently or just pay a bit more attention to them after you run the car for a few months or on different surfaces, so then you can change it when it's the right time so it doesn't break during a run or something bad happens. I have a list of things here I want to talk about, and you can see my maps on the back, and let's go straight into it. First of all, it will be chassis skin. For our Schumacher cars, we have these pretty cool looking chassis skins, and they protect your chassis quite a lot, especially on dirt. And I only run them on dirt and clay where the chassis gets scratched the most. For example, some outdoor dirt tracks have some stones in the clay in the track, so then the chassis gets scratched quite a lot, and then you have to change the chassis more frequently, which costs a lot of money, and you don't want to do that. So having these chassis skins for your 4-drive and 2-drive on clay or dirt is very useful. You can save some money, save your chassis. Buy a few of them. You probably have to change them quite frequently. For example, at the Worlds we change them probably every day, I think, and then at the Euros a bit more frequently because the dirt was very aggressive and it would scratch the bottom of the chassis quite a lot. So it's worth spending a few more bucks or quid or euros on these and save your chassis, which is quite expensive. If you're running on the high grip surfaces like AstroTurf and carpet, the transmission gets a lot of pressure on it, and here I have a idler gear and a gear diff. So this is the upgraded one. This is the CNC idler gear, and I have mentioned about it in my video about upgrade parts, which is right here. If you haven't watched it yet, look at it after this one if you want to see what upgrade parts I'm using in my laydown. And whenever one of those items break or they wear out and you see that the teeth are very sharp and or one of them is just missing, then replace both of these at the same time so they have the same amount of runtime, because they have to work together. Probably many of you wonder if the play your car has, for example, the wishbones in the back, how much they move. You always probably wonder if that's too much or you have to change something, and there isn't a clear answer. I would love to have like a measurement. For example, if the wishbone moves 2 millimeters, you have to change the wishbone and maybe the hinge pin or something like that, but it just doesn't work like that. And having some play, it's good for you, especially if you're running on outdoor bumpy tracks or AstroTurf tracks. And then having some play in the car, it's good, helps with the bumps and with the just general feeling of the car. So you cannot make your car to be completely stuck. Like I've mentioned in my building video, everything has to move freely, the whole suspension has to move freely for the car to feel the best. So a very good tip I can share with you is using the dry fluid, which I have mentioned previously as well in my previous videos, and you can use it on the hinge pins, and basically wherever a part has to move freely, this leaves like a very nice dry area which is very slick, so it just helps with that free movement. It helps over time. It doesn't attract dirt like some greases do and like oils. So this is very good to use on those kind of parts like the hinge pins, which I have right here, to just help it work for a longer time, move freely. It doesn't wear that much. It just helps with general life of any part that has to move freely with each other. So yeah, it's very good to have in your toolbox and travel with you to any race. Driveshafts are a very important part of every car because these connect your gear differentials or ball differentials to the wheels. Sometimes the pin can get a bit loose in and there's just too much movement. As I have mentioned a second before, use this tri-fluid to just help these drive shafts. It's worth to just look out and inspect them after some time when you're cleaning your car after a race or you're preparing for a big race. It's always worth checking them if they work fine. And then you feel like there is a bit too much movement, then replace them with some brand new ones. It's just hard to tell. I wish it was very easy for me to explain to you how much play there should be, but there just isn't a way. Just some movement, not too much, I guess. For our KTL1 Evo we have the belt transmission, and it's just important to look after them. Take a look if there are any teeth missing after a race or after a run at a race. Just from time to time make sure everything works nice and there isn't anything missing. It has good tension, and that's very important for the belt to work as long as it's possible. It has to be the right tension. So for example, when the chassis flexes a little bit, it might lose its tension, or chassis bends a tiny bit, which is absolutely normal. Check the tension from time to time when you're racing, just to look after the belt. It can break sometimes, some teeth might be missing after some time. Just replace it and then you should be good to go. Here I have 2 turnbuckles or combi links, however you want to call them. And the only thing that is important are the ball cups. These are plastic, they can wear out. So what I do is whenever I'm practicing or there is a race and for example I just clip a pipe or have a crash, but it's not too hard, I'm not hitting a standing wall and my whole car breaks and then the ball cup pops off, which is absolutely normal. So whenever I have a smaller crash or just a crash and the ball cup pops off, then I replace this one, and then if I have enough time I replace the others just in case, so it doesn't happen again anytime soon. And then if there is just too much slop on the ball stud, replace it as well, and then you should be fine, and it shouldn't pop off when you have a smaller crash. These are the toe-in inserts. These are plastic, so as any other plastic part can wear out after time. In these you can feel it by moving the wishbone and you can see if there is too much play. And as I said before, it's hard to tell you exactly when you should change it, but you should figure out when there is too much play. The play is important, as I've said in the beginning of the video. There should be some play. Definitely don't make your car completely without play, just stuck. So having some play is important. These might also break, but then the play will be quite big, so you should look out for these and you should feel when it's time to change them. Here I have 3 different types of Schumacher bearings. I have the kit ones, which is the red seal. Then there is a ceramic bearing, which is orange seal, and then the pro ball bearing, which is the black seal. And all of these are very good. Obviously the pro ball bearing is the best one, the most durable and the most expensive one as well, but it's quite worth upgrading to better bearings, especially when the kit ones break or they wear out, or there is just too much dirt in there. But you can clean them, and if you want to know how to clean your bearings, click the link right here after this video and watch Alan's video how he cleans his bearings, so you can do it in the professional way. The bearings just keep your car running smoothly. Extremely important in stock racing, because you want your car to go as fast as possible, as least drag as possible. Modified, not so important, but of course the bearings have to work. So it's just worth checking them after a race, especially when you drive on wet astroturf. The water literally kills the bearings. When you drive on a dusty track, when you clean them, you will see how much dirt there is inside. So it's very important to look after them so your car gives you the best possibility to win the race. Another part that is worth checking out from time to time are the shock tops, which are plastic. They pop on the ball stud and these can wear out, and pretty similar situation to the turnbuckles. Whenever the ball cup pops off in a smaller crash, same goes with the shock tops. Whenever the shock pops off in a smaller crash or a tumble or whatever, replace it. Then you can replace all the other ones as well, just to be certain that it won't happen anytime soon and in a important moment out there when you're racing. So look after these. Whenever they wear out, they might pop off much easier than they're brand new. This will be it, guys. I have checked all my things on my professional list of a YouTuber. Hopefully it will help you out next time. Maybe if you're preparing right now for the next race, or when you go testing again or practice, you can check these parts which I have mentioned, whichever car you're running. These are pretty similar, maybe not with the belts, but also the transmission. In other cars it's worth checking if it's alright, if any of the teeth are a bit sharper. If they are, you should probably replace them, so you can save yourself damaging other parts in the transmission and failing to finish a run. Thank you so much for watching. I know it wasn't the most exciting video I've ever watched, but I think it was quite informative. So if it was, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, make sure the bell is on as always so you don't miss my future upload, and leave me a comment. Why not? Tell me what you're up to. Are you excited for your next race? What will be your next race? When will you go to the track? And what do you like to see on this channel? So just leave me a comment, let me know how you're all doing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.